Greetings and welcome to Age of Wonders 4, a 4X fantasy strategy game put out by Paradox Interactive. I'm a veteran of the Age of Wonders series. I played 1 through 3 with all their different expansions and spin-offs, except for Age of Wonders Planetfall. Now, the first 3 games had some pretty simplistic mechanics, and while the setting and all of that was kind of fun, they weren't exactly a strategy game that really pulls me back to play very often. Age of Wonders Planetfall had a completely different mechanic system to it, and this game is closer to it than to the original 3 in gameplay, although it is still different from Age of Wonders Planetfall. But this looked like a pretty fun game. I did a little bit of research on it, decided I wanted to play it. Figured I'd see if y'all wanted me to do a playthrough on it. It's got this Pantheon system where you can put your leaders up here. You actually gain progression and unlock different customization options or realm options and different features as you level up your leaders. Now, it took me a little bit of time. This game actually came out, I think, a couple weeks ago, or last week. It took me a little bit of time to be able to play, because I would have issues where, while it wouldn't lock up the graphics, I couldn't interact with the game. In other words, it wouldn't highlight when I moused over anything. I couldn't click anything. The screen was basically just frozen, even though my computer could still respond, and I could tab out. And I fixed that by doing the driver workaround. I just click that button. Now, every now and then when you'll see the screen flash, because when it would lock up, it decides instead just to redraw, basically, and that keeps it from having the lockups. It has a pretty good tutorial system, and it has a bunch of nested tooltips to help explain anything you might need understanding in the game. But I've only played about 5 turns worth of this game. I don't think I've unlocked any of the achievements yet. Just seeing how the performance was going to be on my machine and if I'd fix the lockup problems. But we're going to jump into a new game.
Choose your destination.
And there is a lot of customization you can do in this game. So I'm going to create a realm. We're going to advanced settings, and I will be customizing this realm. Now, I do like continents. This realm consists of several large landmasses separated by oceans. Each empire shares a landmass with 1 or 2 other empires. Now, you do have different geography you could do. You could make it all islands, all land, bunch of coast, a divide, however you want to do it. I'm going to stick with the default continents for my geography trait. Climb traits modify the overlay and theme composition of the realm. For the climate trait, I'm not really going to modify anything. A lot of these, like if you go desert realm, you'll lose access to the Arctic. It's basically making Dune. But you can customize your game however you like. Inhabitant traits modify the composition of independent armies and infestations in the realm. And I'm going to go with dragon territories. Dragons claim this realm as their hunting grounds, their lairs dominating much of the land, warding off any competition. Infestations are this really cool mechanic. Areas under control of marauders who increase in numbers over time and take over adjacent provinces. They will periodically send forth raiding parties that can potentially start a siege on a city without needing a hero. You have to destroy the spawner to clear the infestation and get great rewards based on the tier and size of it. When an infestation grows into one of your provinces, it will continuously pillage its province improvement until the infestation spawner is destroyed. Infestations have several states. Its infestation spawner will indicate its current state, and each state will take several turns to activate. Deep sleep, sleeping, or awakening. It will start in deep sleep. The infestation will become active after a period of turns. Patrolling, it will patrol its domain. Invasion, it will create raiding parties. And recovering, it will reinforce its patrolling armies. But we're going to make this dragon territories. And then you have presence traits that add unique leaders and empires to the realm. The only one I have access to right now is Pretender Kings. Adds another victory condition. It adds 3 Pretender Kings. They start with additional cities. They start at war with each other, and if I defeat them or form an alliance with them, I gain a victory condition. And then you have miscellaneous traits to add a variety of effects to adjust the game, rules, or otherwise provide twists to the realm. You have environmental effects, free city modifiers, rule modifiers, and unit modifiers. I'm just going to get a couple here. I'm going to get massive underground. The realm has unusually large caverns. The underground is bigger. Now the underground is a layer of the world map that can be accessed through underground passages. And for the second trait, we are going to get Wondrous Past. Due to the rich past of this realm, there are many ancient wonders present. Ancient wonders are common. An ancient wonder is a location that contains adventure and rewards. They can only be explored by a single army led by a hero. When cleared, it can be annexed by a city. When annexed, it will provide city income and special units in the Rally of the Leeches. An annexed ancient wonder counts as a type of province improvement. Ancient wonders can be bronze, silver, or gold, depending on rarity, difficulty, and value. Now for player distance, the distance between each player's capital, the further the distance, the higher the number of players, the bigger the map will be. So we're going for a far distance and the max players to have a huge map. We're going to call this Geovita. And we're going to adjust the portal visuals. I like this since I have the ancient ruins. Now for factions, I can enable or disable the AI to pick custom rulers. I don't want them to have my custom rulers. I can choose whether or not they use pre-existing rulers or randomly procedurally generate one, whether or not they're teams, and the difficulty. We will come back to this tab. Actually, we'll go ahead and do this now. We'll pick instead of random ruler, I want to select my ruler.
Your journey starts here.
And they have a lot of pre-made empires. If y'all want to see me play a pre-made empire, I can, but I kind of like, in this game, creating a custom empire.
What is your people's form?
So you have all of these different body types you could choose. You could be orcs, you could be goblins, toadkin, feline, but we're going with human. Now each physical form gives you a body trait and a mind trait, but you can change these if you want your particular breed of human to be slightly different. By default, we have fast recuperation. Armies can fight longer on the world map, regenerate an additional +5 hit points per world map turn. Now we could change our mount types, but that will only affect our mounted units, and we don't really have any mounted units starting off unless I get a mount. I'm just going to keep the default traits for now, but yeah, you can make it where you have nightmare mounts, spider mounts, unicorn mounts, wolf mounts. Our mind trait is adaptable. Units grow strong at a faster rate from winning fights. We get 30% more experience. And of course I could swap this out for other ones like different environment adaptations, being sneaky, being elusive. But we're going with the default humans basically. Yeah, fast recuperation and adaptable. We'll go with the default human traits.
What is their origin culture?
Then you get to choose your culture, which gives you 2 points of affinity to one of the 6 types of magic. You have order, nature, chaos, materium, dark or shadow, and astral. So we're going with mystic, a culture of scholars driven to study every corner of the astral sea. They prefer to find answers through research and arcane prowess. Structures have mana income, is what we get access to. Our units have attunement star blades, making them stronger when a spell is cast in battle. And these are the nested tooltips I was talking about. You can highlight over anything that's got an underline and basically keep going through several of them. But attunement star blades, whenever a spell is cast, this unit's base attack randomly gains 1 fire, lightning, or frost damage for 3 turns, and it will stack up to 3 times. We also have Astral Echoes. Astral Echoes are special pickups, only visible to and collectible by rulers of mystic culture. Astral Echoes grant knowledge or mana on pickup. The city structure Altar of the All-Seers grants bonus income depending on the amount of Astral Echoes collected. So we will have a unique resource that other non-mystics will not have access to. Now right now you see this is the feudal armies. If I switch to Mystic, you can see how it changes my armies around. These are the ones that I will have access to at the start.
What defines their society?
Then you also get to further customize with society traits, which will each add a point of affinity and possibly alignment. This is good alignment, this is negative alignment. Now the 2 traits I'm going to pick are Powerful Evokers. They emanate raw power as they release an endless barrage of destruction upon all in their path. My battle mage units and support units start with 1 extra rank. They also provide 5 combat casting points at the start of combat. And I start with either an extra battle mage or support unit. And this gives me 1 point of shadow affinity. We're also going to take Shadow Walkers. They're talented spies, sneaking past enemy lines to gain precious information. Cities and provinces have expanded vision range. Scout units have universal camouflage. That means the unit cannot be seen on the world map. Outposts start with the Watchtower upgrade, and our starting bonus is our Wayfinder enchantment is already active and costs no upkeep. Wayfinder enchantment is only usable on scouts and gives them very fast movement. So our scouts will move incredibly fast and I don't need to cast a spell on them. And we start with an extra scout.
Choose your first tome of magic.
Now we get to choose our Tome of Magic, which will affect our starting spells and our initial bonus. And I am going to start with the Tome of Souls. It's a tier 1 shadow affinity. Harvest souls from your enemies and create undead creatures. Specialize in expendable units and starting your soul economy. So souls are the concentrated essence of living beings. Now, that gives me access to yet another resource most other empires won't. This is our starting ability or list of spells here. These aren't ones we automatically get, it's just what's in the book that we can research. Our initial bonus is more shadow affinity. We have the Soul Harvest. After winning a battle, gain souls based on the number of enemies killed. It also unlocks the ability to animate city ruin and to animate skeleton units in your city and heroes in your crypt as your undead servants. It also gives us Soul Collector, which is a hero skill we can get as our heroes level up, that gives them a 90% chance of inflicting soulbound and bonus damage against units that have soulbound on them. Soulbound increases the souls gained from killing a unit.
What is your ruler's origin?
You have 2 choices of origin. Champion, which gives you bonuses to gold income and stability, more experience for your non-heroes, and more relations starting out with the free cities. I'm going to make a Wizard King, a powerful wizard seeking dominion over a new realm. All cities have extra mana income. World map casting points and combat casting points are increased based on the level of the Wizard King, and the Wizard King has overchannel ability in combat. That allows me to cast an additional spell this turn. Can only be used once per battle. Starts on cooldown. The first turn of combat, you do not have access to casting spells. It's not till turn 2 you can cast spells, which is one of the reasons overchannel starts on cooldown. It doesn't do you any good in the first turn since you can't cast a spell anyway.
Reveal yourself.
And then you get to customize your ruler, your race, and your icons. We'll start with the icon. Let's put a dragon on here. Let's change the background to black, which will also change the palette options here. We'll choose purple. And let's move these to average arm, average leg length. Drop the skin color all the way down to the bottom. Our armor color will be black. Hair color will also be black. And mount type, none of them have mounts. That will only really affect our leader, if our leader gets a mount. For our leader, we're going to modify their weapons. We can start with a sword and shield, a great axe, a bow, a spirit staff, or a lightning orb. I'm going to choose the lightning orb. This gives us the ability to do magic bolts, which is a ranged attack, or a quick stab, which is a melee attack. It also gives us a mount and magecraft, which allows us to ignore a little bit of status resistance and gives us more accuracy. So there's our mount. If we go back to the race tab, and now we could modify our mount if we wanted to. That gives us this warg looking pet. This one would be a pony instead of a horse. But yeah, we're just going to go with the dark horse. Physical form, this is where I choose what basically body type I have. I'm going to go with the human. Body type is male and female. Here are your two choices. Male. Physique, we'll keep it in the middle. We'll move our arm length to the middle. Skin color, we want to be pale. No skin decorations. This pose is fine. That head is fine. Now I do have one complaint about the customization screen. You can only zoom in so far, and it's not real easy to see my eye color too well for adjusting this. I think I'm going to go with that one. Hairstyle, I'm going to be bald. Beard style, go with that beard. Let's put the hair color bottom as red. That looks good. Zoom back out and modify our outfit. We'll go with this armored look. Helmet wise, I want a hood. There we go. Cape. That one. Change our armor color to black. So there's our warlord.
Your journey begins.
Now we can customize our title. We could even write our own if we didn't like the choices here, but I'm going to go with Shadow Lord. Lucifer Domine. And for the race name, we're going to go with Draconian Order. Hail Shadow Lord Lucifer Domine, Wizard King from the Beyond. His arcane powers will shape the future of the Draconian Order. Humanoid beings who are organized and entrepreneurial, albeit impatient at times. Their blood is strong, which allows them to recuperate from wounds faster than others. With their talent to learn new skills, they can adapt to almost any situation. They have integrated magic into every level of their society, with mages on the top of their hierarchy. They have a talent for destructive magic, and it shows. They are talented spies, sneaking past enemy lines to gain precious information. Now, I didn't do the most efficient choices. Rather than going with the default human traits, I probably should have specialized more for mages. But that will work. Now let's go to game flow. We want game speed to be slow. We're going to put the score victory on slow. That gives us 200 turns. We'll leave all the other victory conditions, the expansion, the magic, and the allied victory conditions active. We're going to disable automatic hero resurgence. And for combat, we're not really going to change anything here, so we will just confirm and jump into our realm. In theory, we'll jump into our realm. It's been announcing our arrival for a while. Fending off astral sea monsters. Come on, finish loading. Unleashing magic. There we go. A new ruler emerges. Explore your surrounding and expand your domain. Prepare to face your rivals and become the master of this realm. Your choices will shape the new Age of Wonders. This gives us a breakdown of our Draconian Order and the book we started with. Our starting magic, we have Cosmic Ablation, Soulfire, and the Wayfinder enchantment. Cosmic Ablation does 10 lightning, fire, and frost damage. Soulfire does 10 frost damage and 10 fire damage, and adjacent units are dealt 50% of that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is set my research. It will generate 3 random choices, much like in Stellaris where you get the random choices. It generates 3 of my possible researches here. We can get a magic shield, which is a boost to defense and resist. Defense protects you from physical damage. Resistance protects you from non-physical. Soul Binders, that gives an enchanted unit the Soulbinder enchantment, so they can cause Soulbound and do more damage against Soulbound. It can only be cast on battle mages and support units. And the Enchanted Crow Companion, which boosts the vision range of my scouts and can only be used on scouts. And I could spend 20 mana to reshuffle this option and get different ones. We'll just start with the Magic Shield. And now that we have a research set up, let's go to our city. Now, before we go to our city, each of these outlines around my city are provinces. As my city grows, I will gain an additional province, and I will choose one improvement to do on those provinces. But at Tier 1, your first type of city, you can claim up to 2 provinces away. As your city gets higher in level, it will expand the distance you can claim. So cities can get pretty big as they level up. And the only limitation on how many provinces you can have is their growth. Basically, how much population they can get. But before we do that, let's go to our city. And let's actually rename this city. I don't like Spires of Solace. Let's call it Hell's Gate. Now you have 2 separate queues. You have a production queue, which is used to generate structures, and when it's idle, it converts production to gold. And you have a draft queue. When it's idle, it converts draft to food, and this is used to recruit your units. So you can be training units and building a structure at the same time. So you have food, production, and draft. Those are city specific. Your gold, mana, knowledge, and Imperium is given up here to your empire. Knowledge is for research. Imperium is for acquiring cities, speeding up your empire development and negotiations. Gold is used for units and building structures. It's maintenance for your, or upkeep for your units. Mana is used for casting spells and summoning units, and summoned units require upkeep. Of course, I also have these souls, and of course my world magic casting. Over here it'll show my affinities. I have 4 shadow and 2 astral. I also have a whispering stone that is used to negotiate with free cities. Since I only have one, I can only be in negotiations with one free city at a time. There are ways to increase the number of whispering stones you have. And I have a city cap of 3. I can have 2 additional cities, and then I'm at my cap. Further cities will cause economic penalties. Alright, so let us set our production. We want to grow faster. So we want to build a storehouse that will boost our food income. Now every one of these structures, let's see, has a boost. Boosting a city structure reduces its cost by 30%. Boosts automatically apply when requirements are met. So to boost this, I need to build a forester. I need to claim a province and build a forester improvement. And that will automatically knock 3 turns off of this. Well, I'm going to get a growth in 5 turns. So in 5 turns, I could build a forester on a nearby area and knock 3 more turns. So overall, this is only going to take 7 turns. And let's go to our recruit unit tab. And we have 30 souls, so let's go ahead and recruit 3 skeletons. Now we're going to hurry the recruitment of 1. Let's go ahead and spend the gold to do that. Because we have 2 scouts, and one of them starts in this army. Well, scouts are not great for combat. Though weak in battle, these swift units are useful for exploring the world. They have farsight. That's 1 vision range. These scouts have ethereal. They have extra spirit resist, less lightning resist. They have pass through and immunity to bleeding, burning, disease, frozen, immobilized, poison, and wet. They also have a range attack called cosmic bolts. Pass through, they can move through obstacles. They're also floating. They move through any type of terrain at a movement cost of 5, apart from mountains, which cost 8. But I have to have unlocked seafaring to traverse the water. So these are not good units to have in your actual army, especially since mine are undetectable. On the world map, it is better to break this one out of the army and send it scouting along in a direction. So if we go that way, and just start checking out the nearby terrain. And I have another scout. Now these are nodes. That's a production stash. If I grab that, it will benefit the nearest city with production. I'm going to pass on that production stash right now. I can go get it later. I'm going to get this one. I want to get the growth and get the boost for it. There's no rush in getting out that food, I don't think. I would rather go exploring and see what else I can find. So let's head this way. There's an army there. Let's keep heading down this way. There's another army over here. And there's a border there. This is most likely going to end up being a free city close to me. So these are marauder armies. These banners that are black with a white skull. They just have some random opponents that I have to deal with. You know, just your typical monsters. And this will tell you their battle strength. That's a 210, that's a 200. My army is a 405 when I add in my new skeleton. I'm now 465. Now combat, if I go down here, if I had, say, the scout adjacent to me, both of my armies could, basically you can surround a unit and every adjacent army will basically come into the battle. Same thing goes for them in defense, though I don't think marauders tend to do that too awfully much. But yeah, let's head towards this army to start gaining some experience and cleaning things out. We're not going to make it in one turn. Now, when it comes to building outposts, there's a minimum distance before I can build them, and the only people who can build outposts are my hero. Now, there is a culture, I think it's barbarian culture, allows your scouts to also build outposts, but my ruler or heroes are the only ones that can build more outposts that will grow into cities. Alright, day 2 has dawned. Let's go ahead and move past these guys and see what's over here. Meeting apprehensive Omen Hollow. Seer Estrella Arctalon of the free city of Omen Hollow greets you nervously, as if they might invoke your wrath at any given moment. Well met, Lucifer. We, Draconian Order of Omen Hollow, have heard many stories about the torment of shadows you went through and the power you wield. We hate to imagine what you forsook to earn it. Hopefully you will curb any potential power-hungry tendencies as you make your way through these lands. Torment of shadows. In the darkness of the astral void, the banished wizards are tormented by visions and maddening voices. Survivors describe vastly different experiences, as if the cosmos creates a reckoning for a wizard's individual actions and beliefs. Those that succumb are doomed to drift forever as some lost wizards. Mad husks of what little remain other than their lust for power. Give Estrella Arctalon one of your Whispering Stones to start negotiations and gradually improve their allegiance with you. So we can get them to get a pact of vassalage and eventually a pact of integration where they become one of our cities. But let's see if the people of Omen Hollow are of interest. So we start with no allegiance. We would have to give them our Whispering Stone to initiate negotiations. And they happen to be of our same, the Draconian Order. I think I will give them the Whispering Stone. So we will get to a pact of cooperation in 6 turns. The free city will open its borders. We can trade. Up to 2 resource trades are available. And magic materials can be traded. Right now their borders are closed to us, so I'm not going to violate that. I'm going to explore around. There are a lot of marauders in the vicinity. This is an astral echo. Mysterious whispers of the astral sea, only visible to and collectible by mystics. So when I move over there, I can collect that. It actually, and I think there's another one over here I need to come around and collect. It doesn't actually have to be my ruler to collect it. Alright, so let's get into some combat and attack these marauders. Before we do that, let's have a look at the armies. They have a daylight spear. It's a polearm unit, frog people, a support unit, and a ranged unit. Now, polearm units are specialists in taking out large threats and cavalry and can counter shock unit charges. They have first strike, charge resistance, and do bonus damage against large and cavalry. Support units are a defensive specialist that support friendly units from afar and protect them from magical attacks. Support units have a defense mode warding that extends its zone of control, and all adjacent friendly units gain bonuses to resistance and status resist. And of course, ranged units. An attack unit that takes out targets from afar. It is somewhat vulnerable. Its accuracy is affected by line of sight. Cannot fire its main range attack when engaged in melee. So they have kind of a almost rock, paper, scissors combat style where units can counter other units. As for our army composition, we have support units, 2 of them, 2 polearm units, our battle mage unit, and our ruler. I think we can handle this fight. Now you have the option of doing auto combat. By default, if you don't like the results of auto combat, you can manual it yourself. You can choose to deactivate the AI's ability to cast spells during auto combat. But I like manual combat. Defender always goes first. They get 1 turn before I do. And then of course my 3 units added 5 extra combat casting points at the start of combat. But yeah, they just milled around a little bit. If I look at them, I can see the range of their movement. The dotted line is the range attack distance. So if this guy moved full, he could shoot me if I was all the way up to here. And of course, the different terrain features add different bonuses. These make them harder to hit with range attacks. So this forested area is going to be bad for range. It's going to take them a while to get to me. But let's look at some other icons they have here. This little sword icon means that they have a retaliation. If I attack them, they will also attack back. These sword icons around them are their zone of control. If I move adjacent to a unit and get in its zone of control, my movement, I become pinned. That's the end of my movement for the turn. If I try to move away from a unit with a zone of control, it gets an attack of opportunity. But right now, we're going to have to start moving that way. I think we will take cover as we go, and since we can't get there, we'll just defend. Now, another thing to notice is I have 3 action points. Units use action points to attack and use abilities. They get 3 action points per turn, can use up to 2 of them to move. As I move my mouse cursor, you'll see it showing I'll have 2 left if I move all the way up to there, and from there on out I'm down to 1. Each one gives me basically 3 points of move. My abilities will end my turn. This ability, this quick stab, only takes 1 action point, but it'll end my turn even if I do it from not moving and have my full 3. This icon means it can repeat that action based on how many I have. So if I fire this without moving, I will shoot it 3 times. If I move all the way up as far as possible, I'll only get the 1 shot with it. We're going to take our time moving up. I'm going to move my ruler there and defend. And just slowly move my units up. Now when these guys defend, they'll also give warding bonuses to adjacents, and they also have a heal. Now the heal doesn't actually heal, it gives temporary hit points that are consumed first. But yeah, let's just do a ward. We'll move this one to there. And get this one in between these 2. That's the only one I've got that's not undercover. Now since it was the first turn of combat, I could not cast a spell. Next turn, spells are available. So if I wanted to choose Cosmic Ablation, You can see how much effect it's going to have on them. See, let's work on their archers, I think, with it. And that also enacted my Starblade effect on my guys so that they get bonus damage attacks. See, he is already in range. And if you look down here, you can see that right above here, it shows who's in range. And as I look at my movement, you can see it's going to tell me my chance to hit different people and who I have the best chance of. I only have a 40% chance to hit them from here. If I move up 1, it changes to 100. But I would also lose one of my attacks. But I would rather have a 100% chance to hit twice than a 40% chance to shoot 3 times. Now we will move up our pikemen to engage, our skeleton pikemen. Now they will have a retaliation, so we'll both basically hit each other. I might be better off just defending for this first turn, because they are all pretty much going to dogpile me, and I don't want to lose my skeletons just yet. And I'm only going to get 1 shot. This unit would also only get 1 shot. We can move it up adjacent to them and defend as well. I have a 30% chance to hit him. Now, it doesn't matter how far I move, I only get the 1 shot with this group. So I can actually move up adjacent to these guys and give them a ward. And then have this guy move up to there and start blasting these guys. And my Arcanist, they are the ones who actually get multiple shots. I would like them to get a little... They're going to lose a lot of their movement points getting over here, unfortunately, though. Yeah, they have a very poor chance to hit unless I go straight up there. I get 2 shots from the trees. I think I will move to the trees so I'm a little more defended. I missed both shots. Alright, so they got 3 attacks, and now these archers are going. Alright, I have another spell I can use. I can't use Soul Fire because it requires souls. I can keep using the Cosmic Ablation, though. That also boosts the offense of these guys. Now, before I do anything else, I want to take this guy and cast Soothing Breeze. Gives them some temporary hit points. It says target cannot be affected. But it's showing that it's going to give them temporary hit points. Target a friendly unit and another within 2 hexes to heal 20%. Cannot be used within enemy zone of control. But it is going to heal these skeletons. Let's see, what if I had this one casted? Yep, still, it's not affecting that one. Only the skeletons. Even though it says cannot be affected, it is giving them the 20% hit points. So let's see how if the 20% bonus hit points work. Actually, we're going to have the healthy unit start off and absorb the retaliation. And of course I got 3 swings. And then have the skeletons finish them off. Now they've got these weak archers. I'd have a 70% chance to hit from here. Let's actually get in cover. Got their archers. That just leaves their support unit. 50% chance to hit from there. %50 chance to hit from there, and I'll get 2 shots at least. Hit both shots. Good. I have a 40% chance to hit. If I move forward, it'd be 60. Let's see. Let's actually just move up next to them and do our quick stab. It does more damage anyway. That'll also pin them. They are burning too, and the tile they are on is on fire. Units passing through or ending their turn on this hex will be inflicted with burning. Has a chance of spreading to nearby obstacles. So I'm just going to start with nuking with this guy. Almost killed them with him.
Huh?
Got him with that one. So we took a little bit of damage. Mainly on our skeletons and a little bit on our arcane guard and our ruler. We collected 5 souls out of that. And we got the Lightbringer. Battle Mage unit, Celestial, Tier 2 recruit. Flying unit. Oh, interesting. That looks like it's about to be attacking New York City and dealing with the Hulk, is what it looks like. Alright, so these things are faithful. Unit upkeep is reduced by 10. They are powerful evokers. 60% chance of making target non-hero enemy unit become mind-controlled. If successful, the unit becomes 2 weakened instead, if unsuccessful. Alright, weakened reduces their damage, stacks up to 5 times. This would be 20% less damage. Mind-controlled, I get to take control of it. It always hits, but takes all of my actions. And of course the Spirit Bolts, range of 4, magic attack. Interesting. Alright, we gained a little bit of experience here. So if we look at this unit, I'm not quite level 2 yet. This unit is a soldier. That's the 2nd rank. I'm not quite up to the 3rd rank yet. But my support units and battle mages started as soldiers. So my pikemen actually managed to, and my skeletons managed to level up to soldier, because they would normally be recruits starting out. But my others only gained enough experience to get about halfway to the next level. So let's move toward this next army. And I will have this guy stay near me so he can join into the fights. But I can do some exploration with him. And uncover some other armies. I think I'll have this scout explore up this road. There we have a ancient wonder. This lush location is fed by a magical wellspring that flows directly from the Fey realm. Mystical waters attract all manner of creatures unaware they are potential victims to tricks of the fairy folk. Though what the fairy folk considers mischief can be potentially deadly to others. Even the most powerful beings should proceed with a measure of caution. So this is a bronze level ancient wonder. And of course I've got to bring my hero over here to get it. Everwell is the name of it. Let's just keep exploring along this way. And yeah, I know I'm ignoring some of these resources. Alright, we're going to move our Lightbringer right here. Move this army up. Is this guy even healing? Well, he has fast recuperation. He's only down about 20 points. And now if I go into combat against these Marauders, and they are all fighter units, Elven Druids, they have no range attacks whatsoever. Both of my armies can add in. I can choose not to include them if I don't want to. But we're going to do this. Now they have to close the distance to do anything to me. Let's see how fast they are. They can only get to there. So I could move all the way up to here. Let's start with moving my pikes up and defending. I can't get in range to shoot, so I might as well just move up here, and let's see, can I automatically do... Oh, wrong button. I'm going to move up to here and see about healing the skeletons. Just to give them some temporary hit points to fill out. Now, elevation will extend your range. I have noticed that. %80 chance to hit this guy with magic bolts. First thing we're going to do is cast a spell and do a cosmic ablation on... Let's just start on the front one. Oh, I accidentally left-clicked. That gives them the Starblades ability. Then we're going to start trying to nuke this guy down. Poisonous mushrooms, units passing through or ending their turn here will become poisoned. Oh, I want them to have to become poisoned, so let's move there and defend. I can't quite kill them. I know they'll get multiple attacks against me. That's fine. We're going to move up here and defend. I'm not in range to shoot anything, but I can move up to start nuking. Although now cannot be affected, cannot be affected. Yeah, let's just start nuking and try and take one of them out. If I go here, they're going to want to pull up next to me. I can actually get a couple decent shots off on this guy. Move this guy up to here and see if I can finish off that one. And I can move here. To start weakening one of these. Yeah, they did a number on my mages. But they're also poisoned now. Alright, the temporary hit points absorbed all of that. I can give both of these guys more temporary hit points. I can take out them. Of course, I should start leading with my pikes because they sunder resistance, which would make things take more damage from magic attacks. I can kill them. I only have a 40% chance to hit from there, though. 80% from here. Didn't kill them. So I'll just go ahead and finish them off with this guy. We got high morale now. And I'm going to try this convert ability. 60% chance. And they're mind controlled. That ended the combat. They were considered killed due to that. We got 4 souls out of that. And we got 43 research out of it too. Oh, there's some food stash. That's where I want to head next. That'll help with my growth and get me another population faster. And what do we have defending that? A ranged unit and a couple of ethereal fighter units. A couple of spirit hawks. Now I could spend my Imperium to immediately attract another population. But I now have Imperium. That unlocked Empire Development. This wasn't available till like turn 3 anyway. It contains your Empire skills that improve your Empire's economy, unlock important abilities such as seafaring and tunneling. They become available when enough affinity progress has been attained toward a particular infinity. Available Empire skills can be unlocked at any time by paying their Imperium cost. So you have basically a tree for each of the affinities and a general tree. The general tree has seafaring. I'll have that in 2 more turns. Excavation, improving your city cap. You can also improve the amount of whispering stones you have. And then of course you have the different ones for your particular faction. Knowledge extraction from the dark. All-seeing is actually one that I much prefer. And I can get more casting points. Get a random reduction on knowledge cost every time I research. These are things you kind of bank up and spend Imperium on. While we're on that screen, another thing. If we go to our tomes, we start with the Mystic Tome, These are available to rulers with the mystic culture. And what it gives me available for research, the Scroll of Attunement, the Magic Shield, and the Cosmic Ablation. That's what we started with, that's what we were researching. And the Scroll of Attunement is something else I can research. The general research is where the Enchanted Crow Companion and the Wayfinder enchantment are. And of course, the Tome of Souls that I picked up. Now, these watchtowers provide vision in an 8 hex radius for the Empire whose army has visited it last. And another Ancient Wonder. This is a silver Ancient Wonder, the Pilgrim's Passage. We'll check it out a little later. But we have 2 Ancient Wonders this way. That looks like a way to go for expansion. Though right now I'm just kind of farming some experience, but my ruler has leveled up. So I get to choose a hero skill. You have Warfare, Battle Magic, Support. This is where I would get the Soul Collector ability, which I think is the first one I want to go for. I have a 90% chance to cause Soulbound on what I hit, which gives us more souls as we kill them. And as you see on the hero screen, you have different equipment you can get, and of course my horse, some empty slots, a miscellaneous slot, and because I have this lightning orb, it disables my secondary slot. I don't get like a shield or anything with it. New Empire development skill available. We have access to knowledge extraction. We'll gain 50 knowledge per level of heroes defeated in combat. I'm not really fighting heroes right now. I'm just going to bank this for now. And jump on these armies. As your troops... occupational hazard. As your troops approach the band of mercenary guards, they raise the white flag. We were hired by a rich merchant to look after the food stash, the leader of the gang, a Glade Runner, explains. We expected to protect it from roaming scoundrels, not against a full-fledged assault. Please accept our surrender and let us go. You vastly outnumber these guards. Do you let them leave the food stash without a fight? If we attack them, we lose alignment. If we let them go, we gain alignment. How about we change your contract? We could spend 99 gold and pick up the Glade Runner. I have enough gold. Picking up the Glade Runner, that's a tier 3 ranged unit. It has a tracker's mark that reduces defense and resist and reduces evasion. And of course their bow shot, which is pretty strong. Yeah, how about we change your contract to serve me? And we'll have him grab the food stash. Meet up with this army. And we'll actually send that army back this way now. And we'll eventually have it merge with the skeleton. Actually, we'll go ahead and go this way. Right here, this red border is going to be an infestation. I want to check it out. Especially now that my armies are getting a little stronger. Now, we have grown, so I get to claim a region. Now, this one, I need to build a forester. So in this zone, I could build a farm or a forester. And there are pastures here, so I will also get the passive food bonus. This one I could build a forester, a farm, or a quarry. It has no resource bonuses. But yeah, I think I'm going to pick this one for the food bonus and build a forester. Forester gives a little bit more food as well. This will also give me some more production. We've got a Forester here. We also picked up that pasture. And that drop, we automatically got the boost for this. It dropped it 3 turns off of that. And it'll tell us, yeah, the library is also boosted for having a Forester. The shrine requires a quarry. The vendor requires a farm. The granary requires 2 Foresters. And this requires a farm. So a farm would give us 2 boosts. The vendor for gold, the evocator's abode for mana and draft and production, and it'll also give us access to the stone conjurer and the blacksmith. We found the coast. Let's go ahead and hit this watchtower. Alright, there's another infestation up this way, so we'll head that way and have a look at it. A ritual circle. Eerie, otherworldly shrieks mingle with the terrified whimpers of sacrificial victims to be. A cloud of oily smoke from hundreds of ritual candles blankets the area. Here, dark summoners invoke creatures from distant worlds and send them out to wreak havoc on the lands beyond. This is a silver infestation spawner. A cabal of crazed cultists has claimed this region. If left unchecked, they will grow in strength, expand their territory, and send out invasion armies. Still going to be at least 9 turns. So that was a sample gameplay of Age of Wonders 4. If you all are interested in seeing a playthrough of it, please leave a comment down below requesting what you'd like to see. Would you like to see me continue with a custom empire or play one of the pre-made empires they have?
Choose your destination.
They have quite a significant amount of pre-made empires already in the game. Now my custom empire, even though I use undead, I do not consider myself evil. I think the use of undead is in and of itself neutral. It's not an evil act. So I would be playing a fairly diplomatic and good character. Playing through, I just use dead bodies, because then we're not risking the lives of actual soldiers. But again, if you'd like to see a playthrough, just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.